If you have read or watched One Piece, then you should 100% know there are magnitudes of secrets and mysteries all over the One Piece world that we really don't know much about. And one of which is, in my opinion, Tequila Wolf. Tequila Wolf has always been really interesting. It has always been really fascinating for me. Now, Tequila Wolf is a civilization on a bridge that is constantly being built. And we know that it probably started around 700 years ago because some dumbass celestial dragon, a world noble, gave an order for it to be built. This is crazy to think about, that a fucking celestial dragon, a fucking world noble, gave an order for a bridge to be built from fucking nowhere to some... we fucking don't know. I don't think we ever find out that where it started and where it's going, but it's crazy to think about that even after they have been long dead, that their order is still being followed till this day. And that, I think, puts a perspective to how the world actually operates, how the One Piece world actually works. Now, we first get to see this side of the story after the incident of Sabaody Archipelago, when Robin gets sent to Tequila Wolf by Kuma. In the anime, we get to see Robin interact with the family members of the civilization that's still there. I don't know if the manga dives too much in detail as they did in anime, where we get to find out a little bit more about the people that are working there, but I'm not too sure. I have not read that part of the story in the manga. Now, the bridge is so fucking massive that every so often they would have to resettle to more closer to where they're working right now, because it's been going on for so long that it becomes a fucking hassle for commute every morning. Like, you know, you get up and you're like, now I gotta walk fucking 200 miles to get to my working place. You know, it becomes a fucking hassle. So every so often they would have to resettle, they would have to move closer to where they actually work. Now, we do get to see there are multiples of ruined civilization and remains that you get to see the longer you go on the bridge, but that just puts a little perspective of how long they've been working at, and for how did they actually manage to get those workers. That is a little dark story, because I don't think we ever got definitive answer how they abducted. I'm sure they abducted it. You know, no one's gonna voluntarily go there and work in that condition, so obviously they were abducted. Most likely the peoples of the kingdoms and countries that did not align with the world government back when they were formed, probably the ones that, a few of them that didn't want to be submitted to the world government. They didn't want to submit to them, so they were like, pick those families up. So obviously I feel like that's how it all started. Something that comes to my mind every time I think about Tequila Wolf is like, how is that being funded? I'm sure the world government is paying for it, but does it come? Well, now that I think about it, obviously it probably does come from the heavenly tribute. Oh my lord. And most likely it's probably being funded by the heavenly tribute that every country has to pay to the world government. Are they even obligated to tell the public where they spend their tax money on? I don't think that's how the world government works, but I'm sure it's not part of anything that you'll find that's directly connected to the world government. They probably hired some mercenaries, or they probably hired some third party to take care of it. Now, we do get to see that the RA, Revolutionary Army, they took care of the whole thing that was going on in Tequila Wolf. They took care of all the guards and prisoners and all those people who were making them work. I don't think we ever got to see what happened to all the people that were living there. I assume they either joined the Revolutionary Army or they got a new settlement. I'm sure the Revolutionary Army figured out a place for all of them to live. And since we don't know much about Tequila Wolf, I can't really say anything else. If I missed anything else, be sure to let me know. But what I want to do now is I want to read some trivia. These are the trivias that you could find on the Tequila Wolf wiki page. So the first one says that during the construction of the Burma Railway in World War II, over 116,000 workers and Allied prisoners died while building the railway, with the most lives being lost at the Hellfire Pass near the Kauai Bridge. The bridge is famous for allegedly being haunted by the deceased construction workers, leaving it as the center of attention for the numerous deaths. As a side note, both bridges are built by slaves and prison labor, and both saw a heavy loss of life from their construction. Just as there are many ruins from camps along Tequila Wolf, the Burma Railway itself has many sections that have been left to fall into ruins and reclaimed by the nearby jungle growth. This looks like where Oda got the inspiration for Tequila Wolf, because of all the connection that you see, all the small little details that matches from the Burma Railway. So I feel confident enough to say this might be where Oda got the inspiration. Since the bridge was started 700 years ago, this dates it from the early times of the world government, a century after the Void Century ended. So that sounds about right. The word tequila... This is a dumb one right there. It says the word tequila likely reference to the distilled beverage of the same name. Obviously, come on. In the anime, the adventure of Nico Robin on this island were extended and involved anime-only characters. I think we also mentioned that early on this video. But yeah, the characters such as Soran is anime-only. Not just Tequila Wolf, but there are plenty of other side stories in the whole One Piece world in and of itself that are way more interesting and way more elaborate than this one, and I would really want to talk about that. If you want to hear me talk about them, let me know and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.